Welcome.
Thank you.
To Fort Lauderdale and to Beat. So this is your first retreat?
It's our first retreat, right?
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Virool and what you guys are doing and who you are.
Sure. So Virool is a programmatic video distribution platform. We started out catering to individuals and empowering folks that perhaps didn't have a big agency holding company behind them or even a team of media planners get their message seen on the open web.
Okay, so that sounds like disintermediation to me. So are you going brand direct?
No, not at all. I mean, we license our technology to agencies and trading desks, to creative agencies, to PR agencies, anyone who has a message that needs to be seen to the right people and drive some sort of action.
So do you see yourself as a technology platform or as a distribution platform? Because I heard a little bit of both there, right?
Sure.
And the reason I asked the question is because we're talking a lot about like roles and responsibilities within the value chain. So being a technology platform, you're going to sell to a different set of stakeholders than you would, for example, if you were a distribution platform.
We're absolutely a technology. We're a technology platform, and I would say in the communication business, less the advertising business, less the media business, but in the communication business.
Okay.
People who need to communicate with others, whether it's individuals with potential customers, advocacy groups with people, brands with potential customers, anyone who needs to communicate with others.
Okay. Tell me a little about the reach of the distribution of the platform itself.
So we have 30,000 global paying customers, and over the last 2.5 years have run 70,000 campaigns. So over the last year or so, and that's the reason why I've joined Virool, is to take this platform, to take this data and all this expertise we have in identifying and forecasting the ability to be successful and drive virality, take this to big global brands now that are investing tremendously in advertainment.
Okay, and where are some of the sort of end user experiences that these videos would be seen? Some of the tentpole sites.
Sure. So we have pre-roll inventory, we have native inventory, we have social inventory.
Where are they going to be seen by an audience though? Like some of the actual sites and where the consumption is occurring.
Sure. So there's a variety of news sites that we work with, blogging sites, social platforms. I taught myself guitar over the last year. We run on Guitar World. We run on Blastro, which is a great music site. So a variety of different platforms that consumers can consume video content.
And how are you selling? Are you selling by vertical or are you selling blindly? Because like this is the challenge of like the world of, the maturation of direct versus networks versus then programmatic for video. Like, so how do you actually sell to a brand or an agency that is working on behalf of a brand?
Sure. So we sell media, but we also license technology to agencies to run their own media business. So to us, our philosophy is all about transparency. Okay. We report down to the URL at the planning level and the reporting level. Not a lot of folks do that. We've got nothing to hide.
Thanks for just going there, so I didn't have to. You made my job easier.
Right.
Okay.
So transparency at the level of price, at the level of discovery, making all these tools available to the media planner. But
so I'm curious about this sort of, because I mean white labeling is a big, licensing technology and then reselling it is a new revenue stream for many agencies, right? Sure. I mean, that is fundamentally the proliferation of trading desks as part of their business model. Right. What does that, commercial relationship look like? I mean, it is a self-service platform. Like, it's simply, here you go, Godspeed. I mean, because our media agencies, technology companies, and this is different than the programmatic paradigm. So how's that fitting into the mix?
Sure. With advertainment, I think you really do need a self-service platform. Some of our biggest customers are creative agencies because they sit closer to that production of creative, right? The CMO gets a great idea, they sign a celebrity, they need to go to market quickly. So you need this self-service platform and the real-time bidding, real-time optimization tools to understand what's happening and make adjustments on the fly, right? For example, Dannon had signed Cam Newton as a spokesperson, right, to launch their new protein-enriched yogurt. Well, Panthers didn't make it very far in the playoffs. So what do you do next? You need to be able to make those changes in real time.
And do you feel that, from a self-service perspective, that agencies, that constant comms model is something we all aspire to, but is really labor intensive. So to come full circle back to the conversation about the operational overhead increasing at such an exponential rate. So the creative variance, now you've got a new bench of talent that has to community management, all that stuff. Like, how do you ensure that? How do you, straddle the chasm between delivering incremental ROI and having media perform better on like spend, but then ensuring that the costs of service aren't skyrocketing?
That's a great question. So in terms of the service level, we consider it a managed service. So I give you control and access to everything, right? You can follow along with me. We can help you media plan it. We can help you with some of the pre-planning aspects of it. We can plug into your reporting system and your own APIs, and you can centralize it somewhere else. So we want to make everything available, but generally most people want some hand-holding along the way.
Okay.
In terms of the second part of your question, which now escapes me, but the business model part of it.
It was just, yeah, it was the economics. That's fine.
The economics, okay.
So it was just how costs are increasing, right? And so what I hear from you is that you mitigate that by outsourcing you outsource services, right? That's what I mean, because fundamentally, and this is an interesting thematic, right? Is that agencies are not just starting to bring technology in-house and data, right, and create a new product suite. They're also in some ways reselling services of other providers as well.
Sure.
Right? Because DSPs are doing this also.
Sure.
And you guys
that's not necessarily a bad thing either, right?
You know, the game of arbitrage sort of has a lot of tentacles right now, right?
Sure.
Like making money on a spread and how, you know, sort of how organic and metamorph, you know, sort of,
Think about it. We always in this industry make so many parallels to the financial markets, right? If you buy Apple stock and you call up your Merrill Lynch broker, you know, they may buy it on the NASDAQ or they may buy it internally. And they say, I make a market on this position.
Yeah, but see, I'm going to dispute that because it's actually a transparent market where the supply and demand curve meet is the point of transaction, right? And every market that we have in advertising is protected. We have a price floor, a price ceiling. Sure. So I guess the reason that I take issue with it, I think you guys are doing the right thing, but in your defense, I'm assuming if you went direct to a brand or a client and you try to go around that agency to sell the exact same services at the pass-through cost that you're selling at the agency, you would have your hand slapped, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, we wouldn't want to do that.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
No,
okay.
Not at all.
So how do we bring everybody together, right? Like how do you up the food chain help an agency serve their customer better and accelerate and compress the lead time to getting good work to market and good campaigns to market, but make sure everybody wins in the value chain?
Sure. That's the essence of what programmatic is, right? And having transparency and having the ability to bring your own supply, bring your own data. We've talked a lot about decisioning today, right? That's what it's all about. Advertisers want a sure thing. That's why 70% of TV is bought in the upfront market. They want guaranteed price, they want guaranteed volume, and they want to know that their campaign is going to have a certain amount of TRPs before Black Friday. They want to know that they're not going to get outbid by their competitor and not run, right? So this guaranteed price and volume is something that's very important. Now, in the world of advertainment, that's equally as important.
Yeah.
Because every CMO wants their content to go viral, right? And there's not much science to that art right now. Stick it up on YouTube. We'll see if we get some views. How does it get distributed?
And I think your point's really well made, Brian, because going back to the the NASDAQ analogy versus the fact that it's not really a transparent market, they want guarantees, and you can't have that if you truly have a fully transparent open marketplace, right? So it's both sides.
Proper forecasting is very important in the world of advertainment. We think 2015 is the year of advertainment. We've seen creative links increase. We've seen native placements become more required more by brands, and we're going to continue to see more and more advertisers invest in this exciting new area.
Awesome.